Hello and welcome everyone. Let's start today's topic. As you listen in, we're talking today about hiring and retaining instructors who elevate your studio. I'm really thrilled. This is yet another awesome session from Smart Studio Circle, where we'll talk about how instructors, when aligned, everything gets easier. Working with students, staff, growth, and your own peace of mind. So, this is a mindful, value driven approach conversation on hiring and retaining instructors. You see, instructors are the face of your studio when you're not in the room. Every interaction they have either reinforces or erodes your culture. Hiring is not operational element. It's about leadership, and its alignment creates stability. Running one studio hides cracks. Running three exposes them fast. Misalignment doesn't stay small, it multiplies across location. That's when value stops being optional. So, what's great really means for me is uh, skill gets someone in the door, right? Skill will get somebody in the door. Reliability and emotional maturity determines when they stay. Talent without alignment costs more than it's worth. So the real cost of a wrong hire can be too expensive for me. Wrong hires drain energy, not just time. They impact students, instructors, and you. Turnover is expensive emotionally and operationally. So instead of asking, can they teach the class? We have to start asking the right questions. Who are they becoming? You see, teaching reveals identity under pressure. So, when we hire the wrong individuals, it can affect students, instructors, and even yourself. So, now when I'm interviewing, I don't ask them the question, well, can you teach a class? The question I ask is, who are they becoming? Teachers reveal their identity under pressure, right? And that's what you're really hiring. So you should test accordingly. Your interview should be about testing instructors under pressure, why they teach, how do they grow, what lessons have they learned, right? All of those are important artifacts in time. So identity shows up on bad days. Value guides the behavior when no one is watching. Skills can be trained all day long. I see identity takes awareness and willingness. If you gather their values before techniques, if you get understand their coachability over ego, Are they self-aware in what they are delivering? And their purpose will drive their performance. So interviewing for identity is very, very important. So what are some things you can ask in an interview? You can ask about the failures that they've made and what they learned from it. What feedback did they receive? What motivates them? What drains them? These are elements that help us uncover the instructors. And if you are not able to find talent in your community, then maybe you can train your own students to teach and develop that resilience in time with them. So, and when you get the answers, please be on the notice for the red flags. Blame is a big one. If every past studio was the problem, then your studio will also be. Patterns matter more than isolated answers in responses you get in an interview. Your respondents will talk about resistance to feedback. They'll talk about work hours. They'll talk about avoidance of structure. Keep an eye on these things because these red flags are telling you something and the direction in which you would make a decision. So, your mindfulness in hiring is very important. Most bad hires come from urgency. Slow down, sit with discomfort. Hiring from fear always shows up later. You don't want to hasten these decisions. No, because more you hasten, the worse things will get. It's not worth it. Please take your time in hiring. Notice patterns about what you're doing yourself and in what your interview is sharing with you. Trust alignment, meaning your studio values and alignment to the values of the person that you are hiring. Very important. You should um, teach the why. When you're training your teams, when you're onboarding people, teach them why you have created your dance studio. What are the values you want to instill in your team? Model expectations. Don't just teach steps, teach the meaning of each step. Normalize reflection on a regular basis. One you emphasize will become the norm. It is not out of question in my team where I'm asking them to meditate on values. I share the value. I ask my team to think about it, ask them to, um, having incantations is not out of question. Because as a team in our stand up, when we start the day or end the day, depicts who shows up. So, and then feedback builds trust. It isn't about criticism, it's about care. Clear expectations feel safer than vague praise. Separate the person from the behavior always. When you give feedback, whether it's to your instructors, be very clear and consistent. You want to be behavior focused. You want to be growth oriented. You always want to be respectful and direct. You see, when you have a sense of belonging among your instructors, people will stay, instructors will stay even if they don't get paid as much. They have to feel seen. You have to give recognition. You have to provide a growth path. And above all, trust matters. You have to, if once you have hired an instructor, you have to trust them and leave them to their work so they can get the outcomes for your students. See, that's the fun part of the hiring process you might take on. Real incentives signal trust and investments. See, growth opportunities say we see your future here. So growth opportunities can come in form of skill development, sending them to conferences, giving them leadership opportunities, giving them autonomy to run a project, signaling clear expectations, and let them run with the details, and then see the end result, and then applaud them for what they are delivering. For me, consistency across dance studio doesn't mean things are same. Values stay fixed, but expressions can flex. Leadership tone must remain steady across locations. This can be things like your expectation, your quietness on getting the results once you have expressed clearly what you want. The expression of leadership can vary a little bit, you know. So the data supports your intuition, it doesn't replace it. Patterns tell stories. Use numbers to open conversation with your staff, not shut them down. These are conversation starters. So, looking at attendance trends, student feedback, performance consistency, satisfaction indicators, and so on. See, tools should tools should reduce emotional labor, not increase control. Visibility helps you lead fairly and consistently across studios. CircleRAM.ai will provide this support. And what I've seen my instructors need from me is they don't need perfection. They need clarity, fairness, and presence. Leadership sets that emotional temperature, a welcoming environment for your team. In the long run, every aligned hire compounds. Culture is built slowly, but it can also be lost very quickly. Be careful. Please hire like your future depends on it, because it does. When you're hiring in your interviews, End with a reflection, not instruction. Ask them to think about who they are really hiring for. Are you hiring for a schedule, or are you hiring for the studio you want to be? You see, culture reinforcement during an interview is very important. You should hire for who's your studio, what is your studio becoming. So I hope you found today's talk extremely useful, and I'll see you in the next conversation. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week ahead. Cheers.